Okay, we're back. Game number 1 in a brand new best of 3, but most importantly, this is going to be a qualifying match between these two players. One of the interesting aspects is going to be, I think, FoxeR. We'll talk about him more in a moment. In the top right side of Dusk Towers, it's going to be the Blue Zerk player. Playing from Korea, actually. It's NoRegreT.
Mm-hmm. In the bottom left, as the Red Terran, it's FoxeR.
So FoxeR actually got a little bit of attention while we were in Austin, and I actually got to see this cool highlight clip where he kind of danced around in SCV building things. And I've not really seen enough of him play to speak to whether he stands a chance or not against NoRegreT. And it's weird because I never thought I'd be in this position where I'd be saying that, but NoRegreT recently kicked a ton of ass in the GSL qualifiers. I think it was like, what, 1 round away from qualifying or something? Like, really close, really cool.
Yep. Yeah, so you'd think that would bode well, but he did have to wake up for this or stay awake for this because rumor is he was out drinking a little with the other people that are in Korea. So I don't know.
Knowing him, I don't think he wakes up early for anything. Like, oh, you're going to qualify for WCS if you win 1 best of 1? Oh, I have to wake up early? Pass. That just seems like NoRegreT in a nutshell.
Maybe. I'm not sure which one he did, but he kind of made a joke like, I totally wasn't, drinking. I totally didn't wake up at 6 a.m. for this. So let's see how his form is, I guess, in a bad situation. In bad environment, or whatever you want to call it. But it certainly bodes well to have done so well in a Korean league. I'm sure that boosted his confidence a little bit. And he should be thinking that's pretty good.
If that doesn't boost your confidence, I don't know what does. I mean, like, I made comment to him because for those who don't know, like, we're kind of friendly with NoRegreT, and we had said, like, he had made this tweet saying, should I stay in Korea or should I go back home? And I said, dude, like, not qualifying in the last, like, weekend has had more people talking about you than the last 2 years of StarCraft. Stay in Korea if you can afford it. Even if you don't find great success, it's doing more for him publicity-wise than playing from home in Toronto.
Yeah. What's so interesting, and I guess it's a little bit different because NoRegreT's staying in the MVP house, I believe, so I don't know what the situation is for his money. But once you get to Korea, it can be oftentimes a lot cheaper to live there than to go back home to... Well, I only know the States. I don't know what Canada's rent looks like. Oh, that's bad.
I know that he was actually, for those who don't know, an air conditioner repairman. So I don't know like how much that
really?
pays. But I imagine
that's a really
it's better
good
than
paying job.
Right, I was gonna say I bet it's better than minimum wage. So he's probably got a bit of money saved up. Plus, let's not forget, Sidestorm Gaming has been a really supportive team for a lot of their players.
Yeah.
A little bit of plug for Sidestorm there. Hype.
Yeah, they're having a tournament actually in 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, it's isn't it your area? Are you gonna go to that?
Yeah, it's at the Cave again, which is actually a really nice venue. It has a studio set up and just is actually clean, which is a lot better than most other LAN centers.
Dude, you should take your camera and do some like video stuff while you're there. Get some maybe like pseudo interviews or what the deal is.
Yeah, maybe I will. Of course, I'm gonna get there late. I've never, unfortunately, for the last year and a half, I haven't been unable to participate in these LANs because they start at 10 a.m.
And our StarCraft passion is too strong.
Till 12 p.m. Yeah, right? Yeah. Last time I think we did like a double day too, so I was like super late to it.
By the way, quick updates. Looks like Juggernaut Jason and Drunken Boy are going to be held for us. So we will have one more best of 3, but it'll be the last best of 3 likely after this. So a bit of a short cast, a really short cast for the NA bracket. But to be honest, I'm okay with that because I was really worried that this being a double day would be incredibly long and tiring and exhausting.
I was all prepared, I got my Red Bull. I got like this summer edition Red Bull that's green. I'm actually pretty excited to try that tomorrow. And I was like pumping myself up like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be a long cast, but like it's been a while, it's almost like 24-hour like crunch days for like an art or something where you get with your friends and you just like bust it all out, but it's casting with you. So I was like trying to get all hyped, and then it was like, oh, this isn't so bad. Never mind.
I mean, the last part kind of brought it down, made me feel bad, but whatever,
How did that make you feel bad?
But, instead it's casting with you.
But that wasn't supposed to be like, well, instead. It was supposed to be like, instead it's casting with you, not,
sure.
5 friends.
Whatever. You love StarCraft. You love everyone. You even kind of maybe think Rifkin's okay. I get it.
Can we get like a bumper sticker or something?
Would you actually put that on your bumper? That'd be so stupid.
I think that plenty of people would. Thank you.
Tank gets dealt with here really easily. I was expecting FoxeR to actually end up playing that from the low ground, but NoRegreT really on top of this action. I guess there's something to be said about NoRegreT too. Once upon a time, jokes would be made, and he would be the one to make these jokes too. We'd be hanging out on a stream late at night, we'd be using Discord, and we'd all tease him for like not taking third bases type thing. But now NoRegret's like he's really come a long way from the all-in like only Baneling Bus player he was. It feels like only 6 months ago. Like that was NoRegret. Since then he's looking better. It reminds me a lot of like the Gung Fu Banda story, where he went from this really cheesy and only all-in Protoss to being like a macro WCS player. So I really like. There's good things on the horizon for NoRegret if he can keep up this level of improvement. And even just watching this game, small things like that tank drop, one Queen on the low ground, spreading them on the high ground, he dealt with that so very well.
He did, yeah. Some people are asking about FoxeR, so we'll just give a brief overview of NoRegret. FoxeR, as you said, you're able to see a bit of a highlight video. There's been a couple of borderline memes about him being like the next savior and whatnot. Savior of the StarCraft TC, and not the next savior. Anyway,
match fixing. That's why he went to Korea. Oh my God, it all makes sense. There's an opening. He was like, they fired life. He got cut. I can get in there.
Anyways, but he is, some of the chat's already saying he's like high masters, low GM. I suppose I didn't actually check, but I do think that NoRegret has a very good chance against this guy already.
Oh, he was.
The supply difference, the denial on the push is looking really, really good.
I mean, NoRegret was killing the Koreans. I mean, that already speaks volumes. But it is worth noting that NoRegret playing from Korea is, if he does qualify here, going to still have to play Stage 2 qualifiers tomorrow evening.
Yeah. This is a very odd push-up, by the way, by FoxeR. You would have...
No support whatsoever to Medivacs. He gets completely surrounded by massive amounts of legs. Like, this is dominance.
This is done. Yeah, unfortunately, I think there is just a very big skill gap. Don't want to bring down FoxeR too hard. It's awesome to see him play, but
it could be one-game jitters too. I don't know. It definitely feels like there's a bit of a skill gap. I'm not going to argue with you there, but I don't want to count him out. It's the first time I remember, like, I'm actually saying, okay, we're casting this guy. So
it is, yeah. And also, if you are a historian buff or just like interesting facts, I guess he likes Marine King. Or he likes Boxer and Marine King, either one. But Marine King's first name was FoxeR. Or his first name was Boxer, actually. And then people were like, call yourself FoxeR because you're not actually Boxer.
What do you call somebody who farms foxes for a living?
A foxist.
No, that would be if you hated foxes.
Hey.
So I'm just saying, maybe he's a FoxeR. I don't know what that's called in real life.
Yeah, obviously. So, the more you know. So I guess he's trying to, like, pray to the gods of Marine King. So no bunkers here, but it's not working out.
I wish, by the way, like I knew somebody who tamed or did anything with foxes. I think foxes are like one of the coolest animals.
Yeah, I think it's legal to own one in Virginia, but I could be wrong because we're actually more well known for killing foxes than keeping them.
They're like a mix of a cat and a dog. Like, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah. Well, so is a bobtail, so you can have Apollo.
Drops coming around on double sides of the map. This one gets dealt with pretty quickly. The one in the north, though, looking a little bit... never mind, that gets cleaned up, too. As I say, it went uncontested for some time. One Mutalisk dies for this. Not entirely worth it.
Yeah. 8 drones is not bad. If this wasn't coupled with the other 2 denial of pushes, I'd be like, oh, whatever. Like, okay, it's fine. But it is. So FoxeR's still down in workers. Not, like, too bad, though. Like, it's an okay amount. And down in army supply, more importantly. A little bit of a lead in upgrades, as NoRegret just used all of his gas up. Or not his upgrades. He's about to start now, though. But he has enough of an army that he could maybe push. I don't think he's able to, like, A-move and win, but maybe. It's a couple of cancels with banelings, that helps.
I don't think he needs the banelings, as funny as that is. In fact, it might be better
there's no tanks
them.
here.
No, that's the thing. It's just Liberators and Marines. There's like one tank up on the high ground. Another one comes in, but a little bit too late, a little bit too far gone. Mutalisk killing the medevac, just kill the Liberators. Doesn't really matter, though, because it's just not enough to deal with them. Getting on top of that ramp, the depots are down. These lings are getting on top of the tanks and will get into their dead zones here in just a moment. This actually gets held not too badly by FoxeR, but look at that resupply, and look at the fact that the mutas are still standing. Oh, God.
Yeah. If he had a wall, if he had 2 more tanks, or just, 30 more Marines, he probably does deal with this, okay. But none of that was there, and he is going to lose. Production's compromised. That is game over for Terran.
Yeah. This is really well played out of NoRegret, very smooth, and I didn't really see any point in this game where he looked scared. Like, he was just good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, living in Korea has done well for him. Whoa, saw this dub right on the edge of leaving that game. Give us $50. Says, can I refund this one too?
No refunding.
Good luck on getting your fangs pulled out. Thank you, Solid Stuff, man. It's great when we got to see you in Austin, by the way. That was a surprise. I thought you weren't coming out for that one. But for those who were in DreamHack Austin, hopefully you got to meet Solidus Dub and Mr. Boris Macroft. They were mods, and they were hanging out with us for a good chunk of the weekend. Love them both.
Yeah, we had some fun times that I totally remember. Great.
I just remember once we drank that Hell Dorado, I got super spinny heady really quickly and literally hit my head on the back of a chair or something, and Mr. Boris Macroft like caught me, and I was like, my hero. And the Solidus Dub's just sitting there laughing at me on the edge of the bench or whatever. But it was good times in Austin, guys. I cannot wait for DreamHack Montreal.
Yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. We have to look into hotels and stuff, which kind of sucks. My monies, please. Ready?
Yeah, whenever they are. Poor Naruto wants to go to sleep. He's like, why are you holding the matches, man? I'm like, that's right, it's really late in Europe. I'm sorry, dude. No regret. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, here we are back. Game number 2. Oh, get the poo signal. Requires you to also type poo. Fun fact, those who might not know that. It's like, it's the opposite of Bloody Mary. Like, if you say Bloody Mary 3 times... Oh, shit, I just said it twice. But if you say it 3 times, like, it summons her, right? This is kind of the opposite. If you don't write 3 poops, the poop monster comes. So, Zombie, you gotta save us.
Oh, so this is like spam. Look, if you don't forward this chain mail, then
Zombie
you'll die in the next 4 days.
I don't want to die. Please put the poop. I can't.
Nope. I hate bathroom humor. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Your wisdom teeth are suddenly just gonna grow to like extreme like sizes and kill you, and you're just dead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IEM Shanghai North American Qualifier. Spawning in the bottom right side of the map, it's going to be the red Zerg player, Psystorm Gaming's NoRegreT.
In the bottom left, as the blue Terran, he is FoxeR. FoxeR. Foxy Loxy.
Let's say that this was real. Let's say this hypothetical was real. Would you actually let the poop monster get me?
That would be hilarious. Dying to a poop monster.
Wow. Clearly, I showed you the first episode of Panty Stocking, man.
What?
At least that clip with the transformation, where they're turning like they're angels to fight the poop monster.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did.
You think that would be hilarious?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
So now taking applications on BaseTradeTV and looking for a new part-time caster. If anyone's interested, send me a message here to twitch.tv/BaseTradeTV.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fortunately, we're going to also have to fundraise for a casket on account of the fact that Zombie is dead to me.
Dead to you. I mean, I'm dead in general. You don't buy someone a casket when they're dead to
Your
you.
name literally has zombie in it, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, but zombie food. Like, you can't just, like, dice up one part of one person's name.
See, that's another thing about zombies that really bothered me with Walking Dead and stuff. Like, okay, I get the idea that if you get bit by a zombie, you turn into a zombie, right? Cool. I can actually flow with that. But the part where they're like, okay, well, they're also going to eat people. So, like, they eat you raw down to the bones. Do you just become a skeleton, or are you a zombie?
Depends on if they finish, I guess.
Well, it's rude not to finish.
Is it?
He's rude.
It's rude not to finish first. Anyways.
Whoa. That's another topic altogether.
Is it?
It's getting a bit steamy in here now. But okay, Rock's not taking down. Actually, interestingly enough, NoRegreT's taking. Well, he is taking down, but the other Rock's in a different fashion. Nobody really looking to play super turtled in. It's not easy for Terran to do, and he is slowly chipping away at it. But I thought NoRegreT would have been the one to maybe try and get away with a lot of greed, because he's able to snowball off that pretty quickly. But instead opens up this other doorway so he won't get locked in. He won't ever be stopped from attacking.
Mm-hmm. This can be a surprisingly long, macro-oriented map. And we did have FoxeR say that nerves really got to him. So, that could have definitely been the case.
At the same time, though, NoRegreT had made the comment saying, like, oh, well, don't worry, I'm partially drunk and, like, sleep-deprived. You got this. I was kind of like, is that motivation? Because that feels like BM. Because he's going to lose to you again while you've been drunk and tired. And he's just going to feel even worse for it knowing that. Like, if I lose to somebody, I want to think that they're trying their hardest and they're at their best and 100% capacity, right?
That's one of those things that people always use, and when you call them out on their BS, they're like, no, really. Like, you beat them, and they message you, yeah, I was drunk, or yeah, I was high, or yeah, I just, my mom came in, or something. Or, sorry, they beat you. They beat you. And then they're like, yeah, sorry, I had to pause. I was under a lot of pressure from, like, my mom, or something like that, right? And it takes away at least your attempt to win a little bit, and you're like, why would you tell me that? And they're like, nah, man, I just want to discuss with you. And you're like, no, you don't. You just want to rub it in your face. My face. Bitch.
Sorry, the question mark in game was nothing to do with anything, by the way. I meant to paste this thing, but I'm getting trolled on Twitch. There's so many poops going down in chat.
I know, I see that.
See, you need... We can't... Unless Zombie Grub unleashes the third chevron of poop, we can't stop!
Nope. Not happening. Not happening. Anyway, assholes aside, I'm sure NoRegreT's not gonna do that in FoxeR and be like, yeah, I won, but I was also like, totally drunk and stuff. Yeah, because he's hungover more than he's drunk. But man, NoRegreT still plays pretty good, pretty well. English, right? It's not even supply blocks right now. Look at that. Look how good he's playing.
I need to look up the emoticon code for something really quick. This is...
Do you? Well, anyways. So, FoxeR, by the way, I was thinking about this before the game started, and then we started talking about stupid shit. I was thinking maybe a different build would help him out. Unfortunately, it looks like he's not doing anything super different. We do have a drop in the main base, kind of similar to the one that happened in the last game, but this time it's not being cleaned up nearly as easily. All the lings were breaking down the rocks.
I actually think getting the upgrades would have been a nice pick-off. He's going to kill a good chunk of drones through this, and the lings are coming back to respawn, but the fact that NoRegreT's going to have 1-1 in just mere moments, can he save those evolution chambers? Hopefully he does. One gets focused. That's the Carapace upgrades. Melee does finish up, though.
That is pretty nice. The lair is done for NoRegreT, so I said he was playing pretty well, but then he forgot to build a spire.
Well, in fairness, there was a bit of distractions going on the map. Fourth base being taken up here way to the north. Overlord gets picked off in the center. And this I'm liking so much more out of FoxeR. We talked about that first game. Was there going to be too big of a skill gap? And maybe he was just like a little bit shaky. Maybe he wasn't. But he is already looking like 10 times better here in game number 2.
He is. Yes, I agree. This drop is doing a lot better. But still going to get cleaned up and still not doing devastating amounts of damage. Actually, the most devastating thing is delaying NoRegreT's lair tech. So this is why, maybe he didn't plan on a spire. Maybe he wanted to go for, a big old Baneling bust, but it also delayed the centrifugal poke. So Baneling only came down, like a minute ago, and he started the speed immediately after that. So, I don't know. NoRegreT still banking a ton of money, a ton of gas. It really looks like he is prepping to make mutas, because this would be around the time the spire is finishing up, but it's not. He's just making lings, making a ton of money in minerals for it. Minerals and gas, rather. The second bunker looked so odd, by the way.
It did, and if there's lots of Marines inside of it and the SC's repairing it, it would have been awesome, but it wasn't, and it dies, and NoRegreT's getting a lot of damage done. Meanwhile, there's a drop up here to the north, which is slowly getting shipped away, thanks to those upgrades, but not enough lings were sent off. Drop in the main also goes down, and this becomes a little bit of a forced all-in out of NoRegreT. Can he actually break that wall, though, is the question, and I guess he was hoping to do it with banelings that are going to be picked up by Liberators.
Yeah, it looks like it, but he still has enough lings. Well, actually, I don't know. He finally starts to spire, by the way. He has enough minerals for sure to replace a hatchery. Luckily, the main wasn't his lair, because it's about to go down. There it goes. Very odd game.
He did get +2 started as well, which is nice. That'll be finishing up in just a moment, so more potency to these lings.
That's true. And FoxeR, I don't think he has an armor yet. Oh, he does. He just doesn't have enough minerals to start his 2-2.
Well, this is the NoRegreT I used to know.
Somebody that I used to know. Well, the grenade, if he had 5 more of those, would be very, very helpful. In fact, if he had 1 more, just to get him to spread a little bit, that could be helpful.
I don't think he'll need it. This
split like FoxeR. Split like FoxeR.
No, this is
like either one.
This is death. I guess he did. So here's the thing, right? NoRegreT actually caused so much SCV damage while all of this was going on, despite losing that main, despite losing his 4th. He's still got a worker lead, and his income looks okay. He's got to rebuild the spawning pool. That's awkward. but he's actually not in a terrible spot, all things considered.
Well, FoxeR's army supply until these 9 mutas are on the way out was quite bad. And even with the 9 mutas, obviously they might increase their army supply, but, pit them up against Marines, they're not really going to win. The Carapace upgrade never, finished, so the +2 Carapace never started, so these Lings, they might attack very, very well. They don't live for very long. And I think FoxeR still has a golden opportunity to win this game, but his micro has to be pretty on point, and he has to catch NoRegreT before the mutas counter and do reactor damage and more SV damage and whatnot. I think FoxeR should actually win this game, all things considered, but only if he plays pretty perfectly, which I don't know if he has it in him.
Yeah, NoRegreT doesn't have a lot of creep to work with, and those mutas will not stop large amounts of Marines. Again, the +2 melee upgrades is kind of a big deal for these Lings and Banelings, but NoRegreT doesn't have a lot to benefit from it. I mean, I love this cheeky base up here. That's cool if he gets away with it. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But FoxeR's recovery, I think, process is going to be better now that he's dropping 3 mules at a time.
The one thing he's missing is Splash. Or Marauders. Either one. really play fake FoxeR. Just go for mass bio like the good old days. But he's not producing either one. So mass Banelings, as long as there's enough Lings to get a surround, should do very, very well. But he does have to get that surround first to make sure he doesn't split too well. This game's still going to go on for quite some time. FoxeR, though, he should have the better recovery process.
I would definitely really like to see FoxeR bring this back 1-1. Not just because NoRegreT has made some very obvious mistakes this game, but it would just prove that he's not some completely outranked player or anything like that. But defending against this, I will say, is totally within the realm of possibility. I mean, it's no creep. It's going to be lots of, again, double bunkers are odd to see, but might just work out in his favor. NoRegreT's going to have to burn a lot of Banelings just to take down the buildings, much less actually take down the actual Marines inside said buildings. But as he comes towards the main, there's no widow mines, there's no reactors on these barracks even. So there's really just not a lot of production for what is, I guess, a lack of income. But pushing out in the middle of the map, pushing into Banelings, I don't know about that. He
needs Marauders, he needs widow mines, he needs really good splits too, but he needs something to soak all the Banelings. And he doesn't have enough Marines to just willy-nilly soak the Banelings. Still hasn't even army supply. I guess there's Marines waiting somewhere else.
Yeah, but the difference is he's bleeding out all of his workers while this goes on. Whether the army trades out evenly or not is irrelevant if you lose all of your SCVs behind it, which is kind of happening thanks to the mutas. So NoRegreT is capitalizing on this. The bunkers are going to stand. Okay, that's awkward and weird. The production of a couple Marines at a time is just barely not cutting it, and this is not looking good for FoxeR.
No, it looks like he is still going to lose, despite having, a potential here. With, the economy getting back up, with, Marines being basically pretty damn cheap, but not able to get enough by the time NoRegreT pushed. And this will be a game. Production once again compromised. It's usually game over. His third CC wasn't lifted, so it went down. GG.
Sorry, I snuck in my cheeky emotes at the end. Poop, poop, poop. All right, so that means NoRegreT will qualify for day 2. Congratulations to him. But now we got one last best of 3 before we're all said and done, guys. And that's going to be Juggernaut Jason versus Drunken Boy. So we're going to go to a small break while we get that lobby set up. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. It'll be the last best of 3 today. Wow, we've been live for 10 hours?